I think we're live.
Yes,
It's saying right here on Facebook or on Zoom it says that we're live, but here on Zoom it's taking an awful, or on Facebook, awful long time to load. We're live.
Delay.
And there you go.
Yes.
Saying right here on Facebook or on Zoom it says that we're live, but here on Zoom it's taking. Gonna open that for the comments, I guess. Let me just open up this stuff. So yeah, I guess we're live, Faz.
Again?
Okay.
We're live again. Another Wednesday, another call.
Man, that's something I wanted to say, but you took the words right out of my mouth.
Really?
Good.
Right,
Let's see. Where do we got this?
yeah, this one shot. Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
dive in. So we got a pretty cool subject to discuss today as well.
Yeah. Awesome.
It wasn't expected. It just happened a few days ago, and we had to put it in.
Cool. Got 5 people watching right here. Indeed. Sorry, Fazi, we're just trying to
No problem.
keep up. We didn't even mail out for this live, and already we got a bunch of you guys saying good morning. There's Rob again. Good morning, Rob. Nova is watching with us as well. Scott, good morning, Scott. Hope all is good. Ali, he says you won it, bro. Yeah, dude. I got some mentions from other people inside the UpViral new UX release. I took a wild guess, and it seems that I won. I'm not sure. Did I win a T-shirt or did I win an account or something? I'm not sure what I won. So sorry, guys. But that was cool to see. Michael's saying good morning. Thanks, Scott. This is indeed something we need to change very, very soon. Just before this, we went live. Fazia and me were discussing that we really need to go to the barber, or to get a haircut. It's getting long, and
yeah, we didn't do it in purpose. Normally, we don't let our hair grow like this. That's the lockdown and stuff.
I did do like a clean shave, and I think Fauzi, taking a look at it, he's done a shave as well, so that's cool.
Yeah, minimalistic one.
Cool. Hey Glenn, nice. Thanks for joining us. Rob says you won a lifetime account.
Congrats, Stefan.
Well, that's great. Something we can use for Clever Messenger and to demonstrate our viral integration. Perhaps something which is definitely due, seeing that there's so many of you right here, right now, being on Wilco's live as well. So that's something we're definitely going to showcase in one of the next lives, where we are going to showcase the viral integration. Right now, we got something else in store, which is you can already see it right here on the screen, right? It's saying customer chat, and then between brackets it's saying guest mode.
What is guest mode?
What is guest mode? We're going to explore this new feature with you guys. It's basically, what you need to expect from this live is basically something we need to do together, like an exploration we are going to do with all of us into this new feature, because frankly, no one actually knows what this is about yet, more or less. So that's something we are going to talk about in just a bit. So this is the agenda for today. We're going to do the introduction, which is something that's happening right as of this moment. Guest mode, exploration into the feature, briefly highlighting some stuff about the guest mode customer chat, or the customer chat plugin, and then the guest mode feature. Guest mode, how it looks, plus a little trick, not a little rig. That's something I'm going to change right now.
Rick sounded more cool.
Little Rick.
That trick.
There you go. A little trick to see if your page have access already. That's something we're going to showcase, and a little bit more info, as well as a direct link to the developers' docs, so that you can read up on everything we've just said. Some Q&A about the guest mode, and Q&A about Clever Messenger, seeing what we can talk about more in future lives. And we are going to do
I like this sound.
A t-shirt giveaway, guys. So it's back again after all of these live. We are going to do another giveaway. Very, very cool stuff. As you can see, it's right here, Clever Messenger. This can be yours. What we are going to do, it's something I already revealed. Guess which feature we are going to launch next. Now, if you guys have been paying attention in other lives, if you've been paying attention, don't look at the roadmap because you might guess it. If you have been paying attention at the roadmap, then you probably have a better chance of winning that free t-shirt. But that's something we are going to do at the end. So if you want to win, stay at the end, and we are going to give away this t-shirt. And you can look as sexy as me and Fauzi right here. So that's about it. Anyways, let's continue right here. Are you excited, Fauzi?
I'm very excited about this feature. Very excited because it's going to solve a few problems that we had and few how do I say it? Few concerns that we had from some of our customers.
Yeah.
Exactly. Why don't you do this? Why isn't this available? Yeah. This is going to be solved by default.
Yeah. So it's basically making our job a hell lot of easier, right? So yeah. It's gonna be cool to announce this, and I think our customers will love it too. I just hope that we get access to it soon. So that's something we're going to discuss and why we don't have access to it now. Yeah, after sharing all this information with you guys, I think you guys will be pretty. I think you guys, it will be pretty exciting to see what you guys will think about this and say about this if after we mention what this is about. So thoughts about Messenger independent chat tool.
Yeah,
you want to take this
question
away?
Yeah, sure. So some customers kept asking us this question: can you have a widget on? Can you have a feature that allows us to put a widget on our websites that is not Facebook dependent, meaning that anyone who visits our website can go and chat with that chat tool, and we get it inside Clever Messenger, and we can actually do automation on it. So this is the Messenger independent chat tool. So we got requests about it, and we want to ask you guys, what do you think about having a chat widget on your website that doesn't depend on Facebook? Whether the user is logged in or not logged in inside Facebook, you can still talk to them and perform all the automation that is available inside Clever Messenger right there. So how does this idea sound like? How does it sound like to Stefan?
I think I'm pretty excited to see this in action, to be honest. It's a shame, and that's something I'm going to tell you guys right off the bat. It's something we're not going to be able to do. We do got a screenshot, a small little tease to show you how people will enter as a guest. But to be honest, it's something I have been talking and pressing Fauzi a lot for, is to have another way for people that do not have access or have a Facebook account or Messenger account rather, to have another entry point, which is basically a widget, a chat tool widget that allows people to chat with Clever Messenger tag without having a Facebook account right now.
Yeah, that was a big.
Yeah, it's a big feature, and you see this with other competing tools as well, right? I think there's the one with the monkey logo. They actually do this. There's another tool, I think, with star in the name, that also have this other the capability of doing another widget. But right now, what's happening? Facebook is actually launching the customer chat mode or chat guest mode feature, which allows you to chat with any widget, any Facebook widget as a guest, basically destroying the need of any other widget out there.
Yes.
So this is really good news for us, right, Fauzi? Because we don't have to spend a lot of resources in developing this entire new technology, because now even people without having Facebook, without a Facebook account or Messenger account, or perhaps an Instagram in the future, can simply connect with that chat widget via your website. So that's pretty interesting.
Yes, because this was something that prevented a lot of discussions to be triggered at the first place. Someone is not logged in inside Facebook, and it was like a friction
Mhm.
that you had to log in and have that pop up where you enter your email password before you can actually chat. So that was actually making the conversion rates a little bit less than what it should ideally be.
Yeah.
But now you can right away go to the website, start a discussion with the chatbots, right, without having to do any action inside Messenger or Facebook.
Mhm.
So that's a really good implementation there from Facebook. And we're going to actually discuss what are the different scenarios that this mean or this can lead to. What are the different areas that will be also affected
Mhm.
with this mods.
Yeah.
So first
I
question to you guys is: are you interested in this? Is this something that you were looking for to be implemented or to have it as a feature? If no, then we can simply stop this Q&A.
I think it's gonna save a lot of time. But I guess a lot of people are actually uh, curious to see where this actually goes. So let me just do a little thing right here and showcase an example right here. I'm just moving ahead a
So
little
we
bit.
got some comments. Sure, I'm going to read some comments
Sure.
while you're doing that. So Scott says recrolled. Yeah,
Nice.
been a long time since we didn't see that on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's recroll stuff. Rob Herget says, "Can chat can now give us a massage?" That was probably the new feature.
That would
Have
be
you
really
reached?
good to give us a massage. Yeah. You
Oh, Joe
probably
Farmer is
seen
here.
message, but I think that's not possible yet. Judging based of what we actually see on the docs, right, Fazi?
Hmm.
We cannot see that the chat actually proactively reaches out like Intercom does.
Yeah. Cool. So, hey guys, from Joe Farmer. Good to see you, Joe, again. It's
Hey
been a
Joe,
long
we
time.
should get on a call soon. I think we have a lot to discuss.
Yes, there's a lot to discuss there. So Rob says again, I think it's a fantastic idea, especially if you can start the chat without having to have someone click on the get started. Actually, this will remain now, although there is a case out, you still have to click on that continue as so that
Mhm.
you
Yeah,
start the discussion.
you can see that from the picture right here, Rob.
Yes.
As you can see, it says in the top, "Hi, how can we help you?" Which is basically normal behavior, and you can continue as yourself or log in. The only thing that's new right here is continue as guest, and once people click on that, continue as guest, they will still enter the live chat or the customer chat right there, but then not logged in through Facebook.
Mm.
And how we are going to show and how you are going to find out if your page has access to this is something we're going to demonstrate in just a bit. We don't have access to it yet as well. We have been in a discussion with some of the Facebook moderators, and no one actually knows, but that's something we're going to demonstrate in a bit.
Yeah, the good news is the API is available to everyone. So we got access to the API, but the pages that I still don't have access yet. So it's more of a page level stuff. So if some of the guys here have access to it, that might be the case, then we can already actually start working on that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Cool. So Scott says, especially if they can enter as a guest and then engage to automatically become a non-guest. That's a very good mention there, Scott.
Right.
We will go
Excellent.
to this exact point right there, but this is possible. Joe Farmer, look at customer list chat widgets. They did the non-messenger side of chat widgets, right? Kickstart uses them, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's a native way of doing things. Uh, this is something we're not going to do. We're going to go with the Facebook guest modes, obviously, since it will allow for a messenger connection easily. So just like Scott mentions, going from a guest to a non-guest, which is making a temporary discussion persistent
Mm-hmm.
better, which is something you cannot do with customer list chat widget or any native chat widget right there. Cool. So Rob says there is a company where you can embed an outside chat at the top portion of a website and let the chatbot explain your product and service, ask questions, navigate. It would be great if you could embed our bot anywhere on the page. And is there any way to have the bot start without having to have the client click on get started?
Basically the same question the third time.
Um,
Well,
yeah.
Fuzzy,
So yeah, we
not
have
yet.
to actually. Yes, you have to actually click on get started. This is a limitation we cannot get past for obvious reasons. The discussion has to
This is not
get a
only a
consent.
limitation, I think, Fuzzy. Any bot that actually starts talking out of the blue is already there's a big chance that it's harming GDPR and
Yes, yes, of
GDPR
course.
law.
Yes, this is the indeed. This a low limitation as well. Yeah.
This is why Facebook is not doing this yet, because
Mm.
they want people to enter as a guest without all the privacy mumbo jumbo as well. So there's
Yeah.
a lot to say about chat widgets that are proactively chatting. There is a little bit of a gray area in some cases.
Mm.
Um, it's something we will not go into right now, but it's one of the reasons why we play it safe and we want to use Facebook. I think it's a great feature, Rob, but it's something not in the scope right now of Clever Messenger.
Mm. Yeah. So Joe says I have something to share with you guys, something that will blow you away. We're very excited to actually see this. Joe.
And Rob saying
Awesome.
more about being able to
Mm.
embed anywhere on the website. Now, well, customer chat, you can embed that anywhere on the website as well. What I
Yeah.
guess you're saying is that you embed it like in the body of a template and have it pop up or somewhere in a light box. Again, it's something that is not in the scope of Clever Messenger. If you would like to have that, I suggest you go to that company and try them out. Um, right now, we're talking about the guest mode, and guest mode is all there, and all there is to it to the guest mode is this little thing right here. This is the only thing we actually got right now, and with us, all the competitors too. They only have access to this little screenshot and some API documentation, which we are going to send over so that you can read up on that as well. Right here on the right, you can see this thing where it says continue as yourself or login via Facebook, and then continue as guest. Now, what we think happens after, from a user perspective, from a customer perspective, what we think happens if you click on continue as guest, it will open up the functionality as you would normally see. However, the change is actually in not being able to use personalization. That's the only thing I can think about top of mind right now. And perhaps links that actually trigger specific things inside Messenger as well, like web views. That might still link back to Messenger, which allows you to actually capture them as a Messenger subscriber and then eventually as a email lead as well.
Yeah, this
But
will also show in your inbox for the page.
yeah,
So
but that's all
yeah.
conjecture right now. We do got some more information which we are going to demonstrate or talk about rather in just a bit. But again, this is just for you, Rob, so you know what we're talking about. Um, yeah, so guys, I think judging based off the activity right here and people mentioning, like, I think it's a feature that people will be interested in to have, like something we would like to develop, right, Fauzi?
Yes, it seems that there is interest in this. Definitely something that's can be felt and is an added value. I can speak from what I can see here. And we also speak from both of our minds. We think that this is going to be a great addition and we will definitely be adding it. So now that we mentioned what is this, and if you're interested, we sensed a little bit that. The question is, when will this be rolled out? So this question is a very hard question. So actually, it started to be rolled out from the 16th of June. Some pages we see it, and some pages we not see it yet. So what we are assuming is that it's being rolled out slowly. there is no permission-based or request-based access. So you don't actually have to request it from anywhere before you get access to it. It should be by default present on your page once it's rolled out under your accounts.
Mhm.
Yeah, so in the next probably 4 weeks, we will see more pages having this feature rolled out. Right now, probably 10% of the pages inside Facebook have it.
Yeah, I think that's a good estimation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe some of you guys will already have it, and this is a test that we can do together over here, and that we will do together to see if you are one of the lucky people who got this feature enabled.
Okay, cool, guys. So,
That's the next point, right, Stefan? Yeah.
well, I wanted to do some things differently. Like we do get some things right here, linking back to Messenger. It's a temporary session. So I think you wanted to say something. What we can
Yeah, we'll
do.
talk about this after
Okay.
verifying the presence of the widgets. Yeah.
Yeah, I just remind me that I also need to add the point that people can actually use this as a qualifying system, lead qualifying system as well, without Messenger. This is something we have in our vision for chatbots as well, and now we don't have to be entirely dependent on Messenger anymore, and we can still use the same technique, asking for the email, phone, and all that stuff. So that's, I think, it's really cool, and it is right along in our right along our alley. Let's see. Guest mode looks. Do I have access? Again, this is how we are going to do it. Let me just open up Facebook real quick. Let me just mute myself. Go here and open up Facebook real quick. There we go. And just demonstrate to you guys where this is located. So right here it says go to your page, then go to page settings. Then there is a tab called messaging, and then it's called add live chat to your website. So that's where it actually needs to be. Again, like we said before, we don't have access to this at all. Let me just go to our page right here. I want to apologize. Every time we do a live or do a Zoom with videos in high quality, things do get a little bit clunky here and there in terms of speed. So again, let me just click on settings. There we go. Picking up right now, which is good. Then in the left side of the screen, you see a little tab called messaging. We're going to click on that. And if you have been following the Chatbot Page Hacks series, there's a little series or an episode about the customer chat as well, so you already know where to actually find this. There we go. We scroll all the way down to add messenger to your website, and we click on get started right here. We click on next, and now this thing pops up, which is quite similar to this screen right here. The only thing we don't have access to is that guest mode ability right here, which should appear right here. And yeah, just to prove a point, we don't have access. We do have access to the API side of things, but our page doesn't have access yet. And as Fauzi mentioned, probably 10% has access to it yet. And it's something we want you guys to actually check right now. Go to your page, any of your pages, check it out, go to your page settings, go to messaging, then scroll all the way down till the point where it says add messenger to your website and click on the get started button. And it should pop up a window similar to this or to this. Now, if you have the guest mode enabled, you should see something like this. Let me just click on present right here to zoom in, and you should have an option that says allow people to chat as a guest. If you have that, you're one of the lucky few that already has access. So it's something to be proud of, I guess. Anyways,
let us know, guys, if it's the case.
Yeah.
Let's check the chat. Probably there is a little bit of delay. It will take a few seconds before this is tested.
Hey, Eric, nice to see you again.
Mm-hmm.
Always good to see you. Hope you're wearing your Clever Master shirt.
I actually tried few pages that I have as well. It's not showing.
Perhaps it's account based. I'm not sure. Not finding settings.
And that's another issue.
That's another issue. Um, Let me just show you right here again. Let's say you are on your page. Right now, I'm taking the Clever Messenger page as a example, right? So facebook.com/Clever Messenger. Your page would obviously say facebook.com/your page name or some funky ID if you did not change the name yet. Then once you are logged in as an admin, you want to go to settings right here on the top right. Alternatively, you can also type in facebook.com/your page name/settings, which also directs you to this page right here. Then on the left side, you see the messaging tab. And once you actually click on that, you are in the right section. And you scroll all the way down until where it says add messenger to your website and click on, and then you click on that get started button right here and click on next. And again, it should show something right here with regard to guest mode. However, it's not there for us. So it might be the case that it's not there for you as well. So this is basically a small test to see if you already have access to the guest mode feature. If you see it, then congrats. If not, then you will have to wait just like us and probably 90% of the others as well. That's how you do it, guys. Again, when will this be ready? No one knows yet. It's slowly rolling out. So let's move on to the next point.
Yes. What you also need to get into this is that we will be working on it actively, and this is something that is on the priority of the development side of things.
Exactly.
So by the time it will be rolled out to everyone, it will already be available to use. Yeah, there aren't much changes that actually will be made to support it. Very few. But the tricks here is that how we will make this from Clever Messenger, how we make the user experience for you guys good so that you can link back a guest to their original profile if that's needed, or tools that will enable you to take the most out of your guests.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the challenge we will have, right? So how do
Yes.
we combine a guest ID, because that's what we are going to receive, and how do we combine it with a Facebook account if that's present?
Yeah.
Then there's
Probably.
another thing, right? Like how does it work with your current flows? Like if there's personalization, we will
Yes.
need to have like a fallback system, which we already have been developing, right? And it's already on the
Yeah,
to-do.
we'll have is also a condition that will
Exactly.
enable you to choose if it's a guest or not.
Yeah. A lot of things to consider. There's a lot of things we need to map out.
Yeah, and this is actually good because this code allows us to also map out some of the things that you would want to expect from this feature so that we take them with us while we are developing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So I can see
any
a
ideas,
good
guys,
question.
just pop them in the chat and let us know. Go ahead, Martin.
Good. So there is a good question here from Rob. So Rob says, do you think you are going to get a lot of people who would normally sign on as a FB user, sign in as a guest, and lose all of that personalization? I'm wondering if it's worth the risk of that for the few people who don't have Facebook. I think personalization is a huge value.
Good remark. Definitely.
Yes. Can you go back to the picture, Stefan, where you are showcasing the? Yeah. So the first concern that I see here, Rob, I think this is what you've mentioned. So someone, even if they are logged in inside Facebook, they still have two choices: to continue as themselves or to continue as a guest. So what would actually, what would your website visitors do? Probably some will hit continue as a guest. Probably some will just continue with their Facebook account. So with this, Facebook is making it so that even if people are not are already logged in, sorry, we can have this personalization not be used because they would just decide to continue as a guest. And this is where you will lose the personalization value. I agree that this is a problem. So one of the things here, if you wanted to continue having the personalization and not allow the guests to be there, then you can do this. So from the screenshot, you still have the allow people to chat as a guests. There is an on and off mode. So you can, if you switch it off, then there will be no possibility for your website visitors to talk as a guest at all.
Yeah, something
They will have
something
to
to
go.
test, I guess.
Yeah. The second thing is you can always give incentives or make it so that, for example, you cannot continue to a certain part of the flow until you are actually logged in. So you can start your flow with the guests just to get them in your whatever flow that you're making, but to continue to a certain point where the value is at, then you can ask them to actually log in. Probably Facebook will see that this is coming. We provide a link that will enable someone from a guest conversation to switch right away to their Facebook accounts. But what also can happen is you can still ask the questions like first name, last name, email, of the stuff with the guest, and you can still use personalization on that. It doesn't mean that they are not logged into Facebook that you cannot get that information. And this is what the other chat tools do, the native ones. So once you start the conversation, they will start to ask you what's your first name, last name, email, so that you have a personalized experience throughout the conversation that you're going to have. So yeah, there are a few alternatives.
I do have another remark as well, and that's test, right? If you're creating a chatbot that heavily relies on personalization, then something as continuing as a guest doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense. That's something perhaps you don't want to use. However, if your objective is to generate a lot of emails, and you don't really care about getting their first name and last name, only about their email, then getting their email is the first objective, and then continuing as a guest might have you end up with more email addresses because people are more inclined to leave their email address as well. However, this also means that if they continue as a guest, there's probably no pre-populated email. So people actually need to fill out their email by typing. Like it's just the old school stuff. Like people need to type in their email address in the reply chat bar, and then it still gets saved as user input. However, what's cool with the Facebook side of things is that they already have the email they use over at Facebook pre-populated in that quick reply. These are all these nifty little features that you are going to lose out on. However, the trade-off is actually having perhaps a lot more people in. And I'm saying perhaps because we don't know yet. We need to test this out ourselves as well. And adding a guest mode sounds cool at first, but being able to lose out on all those personalization, it's something you need to figure out on yourself.
Yeah. It really depends on the use case.
Yeah. And it's good, right? And this is why you can actually split test that stuff, because you're allowed to create unlimited customer chat widgets. And this way you can simply set up the same page. Well, let's say one is special and the other has named special offer. And you have like a customer chat widget with guest mode and a customer chat without guest mode. And you just run traffic to it, 50% to this side, 50% to this side. And then you just check which is going to give you the most leads if the goal is generating leads, that is. If you're just after
I'm not sure,
getting
but
cool experience,
I'm going to ask you a question,
sure.
Stefan. Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. Sometimes I think that you finished.
No, sorry.
So sometimes I just ask you questions out of the blue right there. So on a pricing page, how do you see the continuous guest working? There are people that are on a pricing page. They want to decide if they want to go with a certain plan or if they want just to buy the software, if that software is good for them, whatever products. Does that make sense that the continuous guest will work better than the sign-in as Facebook? Right there, because those will be quick questions that just needs quick answers and discussion is done.
Exactly. And this is where the chatbot technology actually comes into place, right? So this also, I think, hooks into the premise of chatbots, where chatbots actually solve 80% of customer chat or customer questions customers have, right? So in that sense, if they just have a pricing stuff and a pricing question, and they continue as a guest and type in like, what's the price on this plan? And the chatbot immediately fires out that message that corresponds with that question. They already have what they need, and you're providing already good customer experience. So in that sense, I think it actually works well. But again, if you want to follow up on that person, you need to do it within 24 hours. And what you want to do ideally is to get their email address. Always get their email address. At the least, get them to subscribe to Messenger so that you can follow up through Messenger. But always try to extract more data from a lead, in this case, a guest, because you want to follow up. And if they are asking for pricing, they are very, very interested. So that's, I hope that is your question.
Indeed,
kind of
yes. Thanks, Stefan. Actually, what we can also do is we can provide special links that are like m.me links, and once they click on it, we know their profile, and we can merge the stuff.
No, that's cool.
Yeah, that's actually cool. I just came up right now. It's good. It's good. Yeah.
I need to let me just make a note before I forget.
So you're showing our Slack channel on the live, Stefan?
Doesn't really. No company secrets have been
shared.
Not
Don't put this video on YouTube, Stefan.
I will cut it out. Okay.
Yeah, so I think this actually, you're sharing it, I guess. No. Okay.
I'm just sharing my my stuff, right? Like
yeah, cool. Awesome, cool. So yeah, I'm going to go over some questions here and comments. In the meanwhile, do we think? So hi guys, love my t-shirts. Glad to hear Eric. Our t-shirt is a really cool t-shirt. I like it every time I wear it as well. Scott says, yeah, I see it now in different page. Previous page sent to business manager. Yeah, this can happen. No guest mod for me. That's from Scott. Michael, not for me. Eric, not for me. So yeah, seems that it's brought that to a few people, like we've mentioned earlier. So keep checking, guys, as well, like every now and then, if it's there for you. And if there is any information about the status of rollouts, then we will also let you know on our page. Scott says some of my flows require personalization to work properly. Yes, exactly. If they can log in the middle of the flow, it would be awesome. Yes, Scott, even if Facebook doesn't provide ways for them to log in inside the flow, we will provide you for these ways to be able to link a guest to a full Facebook profile. Rob says it's almost like an old opt-in page that people now have to type in every 10. Seems like having an opt-in right above the bot and leave it as sign as yourself is not I'm not sure getting this. Can you give it a go, Stefan?
No, I actually am reading here, so I'm I think you need to rephrase that, Rob.
It's almost like
I don't understand it. Seems like have an opt-in right above the bot and leave it as signing in as yourself and not as a guest. If you can clarify that a little bit more, a little bit, Rob, then that would be great. Cool. So we do got some other stuff we want to talk about, right? I actually got some highlights from the developer Facebook docs, and I'm gonna give you guys the link. And this actually goes directly to that little section inside the API documentation. So there you go, guys. There is that link. But the most important things I think we should talk about is this stuff right here. And this is taken directly from the docs. So it is these guest users are temporary accounts that can receive messages when the user is on your website. Well, that's obviously
they can receive that. Yeah.
The kind of the point of the entire thing, right? Guest chats, and this is an interesting one, will end when the user decides to finish the conversation from the more menu or 24 hours from the start of the conversation, whichever comes first. So there's some data to actually figure out. It's some more data to play around with. I think what happens right here is that we still got 24 hours to engage, perhaps.
Yes.
And given the fact that they are still on the website, I guess.
unless they didn't end the conversation. So from the more menu ends. From what I can see, the more menu is a hidden, like kind of a hidden menu. It's
Mhm.
not really obvious for a lot of people. So most likely you will be taking use of 24 hours of the 24 hours window for most of the conversations that you will get.
Mhm.
Now, the question that I'm also getting into my mind is, does this work only on the website, or will they also receive a notification on their mobile phone, on their messenger app? Because Facebook, in somehow, they actually know who is logged in, although they are not clicking on the continue as, but they know the person who is right on the website. So I'm not sure if this will also pop up in their messenger or not. So that's something that
I'm not sure
they,
if it's a guest
that we
that's
need to.
coming in from a desktop device. I hardly see it coming in
Mm,
on a mobile device.
mm.
Because it
That
will,
will be awesome if it's the case.
yeah, it will also be breaking a lot of rules if that's the case. So I'm not sure. The good news is
Yeah.
that the guest stuff actually works on both mobile and desktop.
Mm,
So you can continue as a guest on mobile or on desktop. So it doesn't really matter,
yeah.
which is really cool. The guest name will appear as guest followed by a short numeric
Hmm.
string, which is something you can
The IG.
probably
Yeah.
change as well. Ideally, I would like to see some changes. Um, a person that comes in as a guest, though, doesn't necessarily mean that you lose all the personalization options, right? You
No, it does.
can basically ask for their first
Yeah.
name and their last name. You can
Yeah.
basically ask for their email and store that in a custom field. And instead of actually
Mm.
calling the personalization tags, you call the custom field in order to address them by their name. And that's basically how those other tools do it that only have that widget.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Landbot is, for example, one that doesn't do messenger stuff, but they only do this specific thing, where they ask for the user's first name, for their last name, and then basically use that in later sessions as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Facebook is trying to do. It's trying to compete with these type of tools, as well as the likes of Intercom,
Yeah. Of course.
active campaigns here
Yeah.
around.
Of course. It was one. It was one of the only things that were pushing some people off Facebook, because
Mhm,
why do they have to have an account for us to talk with the
mhm.
page? And now they are tackling this, and they will go after this market
Yeah,
regardless.
yeah.
I
That
would
makes
also
sense,
assume
right?
at some point. Yes, it makes a lot of
Uh,
sense. A lot of sense. This will also work with WhatsApp and stuff. So
So,
that actually.
Fauzi, one question for you. Do you perhaps you have read it already, or is this something you are expecting? From let's do like a scenario. I'm shopping for a new Clef Messenger T-shirt
Mm,
in the e-commerce shop, and
mm.
I'm about to check out. And on checkout, I actually want to send out data to a specific customer chat. Is that possible? Like a specific URL parameter?
We already
Uh,
support this.
Yeah, but as a guest, is that also possible?
Yes, that's actually a good point, because the guest implementation is not different from the normal implementation.
Okay.
It's just the webhook changes. You don't receive the full name or the full ID. You receive a guest with numeric and the guest ID. But in terms of implementation, it's actually the same. So the same parameters will work. The same custom field stuff will
Okay,
actually work.
that's actually
Yeah,
cool. So
yeah,
nice. We can actually do something with that within that 24 hours then. If they didn't
yeah,
close that stuff, we still have that session going, then we can still follow up with them.
yeah.
Would be really great if they still have that page open if they're purchasing and they abandon the cart and then they come back and they see suddenly a coupon code or something they can still
Mm,
use.
yeah.
I'm really looking forward to actually do some tests on this and see how this works.
Yeah, and also if you have like a form first before you come to this point where you fill the first name or last name,
Hmm.
and this is passed as a parameter, then although they continue as a guest, you can already detect their first name and last name from the form that they submitted before on your website, and you can already start the personalization
Hmm.
without any further stuff.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, a lot of things can actually be done with this. It's Again, with this stuff that we have inside Clever Messenger, with all the features that you have in terms of customization as passing parameters, then you can really achieve right about anything you want. If you just imagine it, you can create it.
That's cool. I will start imagining tonight.
A massage, just like it was.
I
That we
want
cannot
if
do, yes.
if a chatbot can give me a massage, then I know that Rob is going to be a customer for life. That's for sure. So fun and games, Rob. Just making fun. Yeah. With that said, guys, I'm just trying to see if there's any more questions because we're now at almost the end already. Thanks so far for getting on this exploration with us. Again, we don't really know when it's going to be rolled out in terms of pages. It's something that's coming. The API docs revealed that it's already there. We can already start developing something, and once the uh, the stuff on the pages is ready and your page is eligible to actually use it, then without a doubt you can yeah, we are going to have that feature ready for you guys. We just do need to do some internal testing, but it's not going to be months in development because it's not that big of a change, but the impact it's going to have, I think, is pretty huge.
Yeah,
So
indeed. I want to talk about the multi-channel marketing stuff of this
sure.
because this whole thing, like Facebook, SMS, email, and now we have, because this is also considered as another channel if you think about it. It's your website getting traffic and you're getting a person right
Organic,
there.
perhaps.
Yeah, organic traffic. So you can actually play with all these multi-channel stuff that we have. So let's say that the person came, you asked for their email. You can use one of the integrations that we have with the email providers or auto
Yeah,
expanders.
because
Then even
oh,
after 7 days, you can send them MDOS me link, and you can make this person at the end of Facebook subscriber.
that's cool.
7 days after they first talk to your page via guest mods.
Oh.
So it's really a loop that you can go from and to whenever you would like with all the integrations that we have.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you can update those with real values based on their, like, let's say they have used the name John Doe, but they have as their first and last name, they have used their real email. Then once you actually try to capture them as a messenger subscriber as well, and you see that they click on that link, you can then update those values with their real name, first name and
Indeed.
last name as well, without
Indeed.
actually asking them for it.
Indeed. Yeah.
One thing I wanted to intervene right there, Fuzzy, is that they need to know that the integrations we got going on are not necessarily Facebook dependent, right?
Yes,
All the
this is the
integrations,
point.
everything
Yeah.
will work just with the guest mode stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the good thing. So
Yeah.
it's fully independent of it on Facebook.
Yeah. And you will still have you enjoy all the other features we still have, like the
Yeah.
integrations. But that's
Yeah.
something to note, I guess.
Yeah. Indeed. I can see it working really well with this.
Hmm.
Very good stuff. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm getting to like this more and more with we're getting into this conversation.
That's good. That's cool. Yeah.
Now the other thing I wanted to add is the last thing. So what Facebook provides here in the customer chat is a JavaScript SDK. And what that means, it doesn't only work on JavaScript SDKs don't only work in websites. They can work in websites, of course, but they can also be embedded in mobile apps. What
Cool.
that means is that, yeah, that customer chat inside Facebook can be present inside a mobile app for a bank or for whatever service that is there. And you can still enjoy that guest mode there, and you will get to enjoy the automations that we give.
Nice. That's
So
actually a
yeah,
good thing for people that are running agencies and selling
yeah,
chatbots. So now they can go after people with apps and have a need for that messenger functionality and an in-app thing. So I, I can see this working with some of those diet apps like keto apps I'm having right now. I,
yeah,
I think that actually works where people can actually follow up and get in touch with the leaders of a community, for instance. So that's kind of cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
You asked me earlier to remind you about something, but I forgot what's the thing. Next to the non-messenger users, no need for standalone widgets.
Huh.
Do you
I'm not
remember that?
sure. No.
Maybe some of our guests.
I will probably watch it back because now I'm curious because I thought it was pretty ingenious thought to actually have. Perhaps not because I've already forgotten it. But, and I said it will pop up if it's important, and if not, it will pop up in a later life
Mm,
or in our conversations because I'm going to definitely check back and see what it was about because I actually mentioned it, right?
yeah.
So I think that's about it. I think we managed to discuss all those points right here on the screen, right, Fazi?
Hmm.
Let's do time for questions then. I got Michael right here. Is Sendio going to be added soon? Really depends. We need to see API details, docs. If you can send those over. Sendio is on the backlog, but there isn't
If
a
I
lot.
still remember, there is no API implementation from SendU.
Okay, so then
Yeah.
that's something we need to have, Michael. So I think Sendio is created by Joshua. So if you have Joshua send us over the stuff, or you can ask
Kulakis,
Joshua
yeah.
for the API details, and then we'll have a look and see if it's possible. It should be possible, but we do
Yeah.
need an API. So that's
Cool. I just did a search now, and there is one. If that's the Senzio that we are. Is that Senzio.com?
I'm
Is
not
the one?
sure. I'm not sure. We can have
Mm.
Michael send in a message to support. Michael, if you want to send a message to support regarding the Sendio integration, please make sure that you add the API docs so that we can get that moving for you. Support at clevermessenger.com, Sendio API integration, a subject, and then just add some docs. I know that one of the support girls is watching this as well, so she will probably take note of this and pick up that ticket. Rob is asking, can we do a training on the characteristics of building a great bot? Everything is going more conversational. I'd love to hear your thoughts, processes of why you created a flow this way or that way. Things like onboarding or customer service or other uses of
Users.
bots, not the technical portion of building, but the mental and emotional views of how to build a great bot. I think that will
Mm.
be invaluable. I think that will be too. It's something
Yeah.
that we are planning in a training we are going to do. But if you want to, and we want to do a live, to do a live about that, that would be cool. Perhaps we can invite someone to do this as well, because this is pretty new stuff. Even though chatbots have been around for, I guess, 3 to 4 years right now. It's pretty new area, and I do got someone in mind who's also Dutch. I'm not sure if he is currently on or seeing this, but this guy is doing some conversational UX for bigger brands such as ING Bank and all that stuff, and calls himself a conversational specialist. So what I
Mm.
can do is see if I can ask this guy if he wants to jump on a live and has some more information about the share
That would be
um,
great. Yeah.
the stuff behind it. We obviously do got a lot of ideas on the emotional stuff. I do want to mention the Give Your Chatbot a Soul PDF. It has a couple of questions, 7 questions, and it basically allows you to get to the reason why you are developing a certain chatbot. And if you get in to a chatbot building process on that foot by answering those questions first, you really get in the zone and you really know what it needs to do. So I suggest you start there first if you haven't already. There is I think it should be here somewhere. So let me just check. Should be in the group under documents, perhaps. So I'll go to the group right now. And there's a little thing called files. And there you go. There is CM, give your bot a solved PDF. And it's a chatbot guide about a couple of questions. What is your story? Who are you? How do you operate? What do you sell? Where do you operate? Why does your business need a chatbot? Know your audience and who are you targeting? What is your chatbot's personality like? What kind of value are you providing?
Interesting. Yeah.
So it goes through all these things right here, Rob. And before you begin the developing process of a chatbot, answer those questions, and then you will pretty much 9 out of 10 knock it out of the park. Because this way you get to the core, and you also don't need like very, very complex chatbots. Make it very easy for people. Chatbots need to be fun, straight to the point. It's not long form marketing, if that makes sense. It's short form marketing. So to give people what they want directly and ask people for things like give me your email and you get this. Don't drag it out too long. Rule of thumb is basically 3 to 4 short messages, and then you let the user interact again. So not have like a freakishly long chat, multiple chats, and then ask for the user. The user will be long gone at that point. Short and simple, straight to the point messages, simulated by doing like 3 or 4 of them, and then end with a quick reply so that they have an interaction again. And the more they interact, the less drop-off rate, the more engaged, and the sooner you get what you want from that subscriber. Some stuff right there for you, Rob. I hope that makes sense.
Yes, we will definitely also have trainings for the process as well. Yeah.
You get in the zone and you really.
Awesome. So I think it's time for the giveaway, Stefan.
It's my favorite part. Oh, we almost did an hour already. So nice. Yeah. We're getting good at this. Usually we drag these out for a very, very long time. Right?
Yeah. Sometimes it was 2 hours.
I think our first 2 lives were 2 hours.
Yeah.
The third live was 3 hours.
Yeah.
But they all had one thing in common, right, Fauzi? And that was this part right here.
That's true.
It's a t-shirt giveaway. All right, guys. It's the end of this this live thingy, and we're going to do one more thing, and that's the t-shirt giveaway. As you can see right here, I'm looking for the logo. There it is. It says Clever Mess, right? So it's a clever mess. Obviously, it says Clever Messenger. You're going to look as sexy as me and Fauzi right here. It's excluding the hairdo, Scott. So, but definitely, this is the shirt you're going to get. What do you need to do? You need to guess the next feature we are going to launch. I'm going to help you out. It's not going to be the guest mode. Yeah. It's not going to be that, because that's something. This is just an exploration. It's going to be something else. I know it. Fauzi knows it. Guess that you need to take a look at the roadmap. I think that will give you some sort of hint. And I think in the previous lives we mentioned something we're going to launch this month still. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to see that in action. So that's basically it, guys. You need to guess the next feature we are going to launch, and that's next Monday. Upcoming Monday, we are going to launch something again. And this can be an integration, and this can be a feature. Or do you want to help them a little bit?
It will be a feature. Okay. Let's see if they'll get that first.
Nice. Okay, guys, so it will not be an integration. There's another cool integration coming the week thereafter, I think. Yeah. It will be a feature. So that's going to be a little bit easier for you to actually guess.
We should actually do a bonus. Once you figure out the feature and the integration, you probably get...
You get the hoodie as well.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't have the hoodie right here, but there are Clever Messenger hoodies in the store as well. And you guys, Scott, Zape, you already have 2 guesses, and I can say no and no. So you be my guest. Zapier is already there.
Yes.
If you want to have access to our Zapier integration, it's invite only. Take a look at the changelog. There's a public link, and you can actually add Zapier to the mix. You can also ask for support, ask support for Zapier integration. Autosave, it's something that's definitely on our backlog, but it's going to take a while before we get that going. Michael, appointments, good guess. Again, no. That's all the hints I'm going to give you guys. There is going to be a feature. We have been discussing this in a previous live as well. We actually wanted to launch this last week, but we had some complications and we moved it back a bit, right? Again, guys, who's going to guess it is going to win this t-shirt. And you're going to be an official sexy Clever Messenger member.
Yeah, that's the best part of it.
Cool.
Awesome. So how does this work, Stefan? The first who gets it wins, or there will be a random first one?
If there's more people that are going to win it, we can do a random draw. And we can do like, give the person who is going to guess it first, give them a little bit more weight. So add multiple entries for that thing. And then we use the wheel of names to actually,
Pick that up.
Get the win. But I do need a lot more guesses, guys. So for people that are going to watch this live later, do let us know. And I think you'll get till Sunday, or we can do the announcement on Monday itself. Once we have launched the feature, I will do like a draw, so people have like another 5 days to figure out which feature is coming. So Scott, all nice ideas. Again, no. But if you want to have this t-shirt, guys, guess which feature we are going to launch. Again, we did I think we even did a live about this and talked briefly about this. We even planned it, but we brought it back. And I know for a fact that our Italian friend, plus Wilco, was waiting for this feature to be released as well.
Yeah, it's not up viral because it was already released.
A file integration is already released, but there is another feature Wilco really wanted to see. And there's Joe Decina, a really good friend of ours from Italy, who wanted to see this feature be released as well. So that's really cool. I guess that's it. I think this was another fun one. A lot of good news for the Messenger arena. Facebook is Facebook again, giving us a new stuff to play with, but without giving us the entire stuff to play with.
That's how they roll.
Cool. Should we mention that we do have access to that other tag already?
That's not the case yet. We signed some contracts with Facebook, but it's not really confirmed yet that we get access to it. Yeah.
Cool. Nice. Then it's cool that you signed a contract with Facebook, Fazio. Okay, guys, I think that's it. Thank you for watching, I guess. Faz, is there something you would like to say still? Otherwise,
I would like to thank you for leading into this, Stefan. I'd like to thank our community. Really good to see you again each Wednesday. It's fun with all the discussions that we have. Again, if you have questions, please let us know. Feedback as well. You have our chatbots where you can connect to the support. You also have support at clevermessenger.com, or you can go to our website and use our customer chat to reach support. Obviously, later you'll also have guest mode to do that.
Cool. Nice one.
Awesome.
Awesome. Well, I
Thank you,
appreciate you
guys.
again. Thanks for this idea, Fauzi. Really loved it, and really
Thank you.
loved doing this live with you once more. Thanks again for the questions. Love
Awesome.
you all. Love the engagement, and thanks
Thank you, guys.
again. And we're going to wave. Bye.